Luminosity versus the Renegades, a bout that will go down in history as the one that solidified the best of the two teams on cash, I think. Or I might be getting ahead of myself. Either way, that's the map we're going into here on the second day of the last week of Pro League. I said between the two, not overall.
It's cool. As long as we clarify that, make sure no confusion. Because when one's confused, the other one is
going to cash. What do you guys think should be improved here on both sides of the equation, right? So let's just start with Luminosity, James.
I think Luminosity is going to have to look out for Renegades pushing on their CT side. That was the key for Renegades earlier on in the season, is not sitting back, taking the fight to them, being dynamic on the CT side.
Are we still on Luminosity, or can I go with the Renegades?
Well, I would like you to go Renegades. So we've got Luminosity and the Renegades.
So Renegades, the few success that they had from last map is when they're working together, pop flashing for their teammates, just using the utility properly. A lot of times they were not. I want to see more. I want to see more pop flashing, like A main. Let's pop flash peek A main. Let's pop flash peek B or whatever. Just more teamwork from Renegades and communication.
Well, that will be the necessities that the Renegades are going to need to overcome this hurdle, which is going to be Luminosity. Let's go ahead and fly in these Betway odds now and see where you, the viewer at home, stands when it comes down to the number games and the nitty-gritty of who's going to be winning this bad boy. And now I'm going to ask you guys the same question.
I might have to log into Betway because I would take Luminosity on this map for sure.
Yeah, I think even after that last map, it's still in favor of Renegades, which I kind of disagreeing a little bit just how they played, but I'm gonna go with Luminosity as well. I think they might take the 2-0 this time.
They're hungry.
They're hungry. They want to end. They want in playoffs.
Well, I know two guys that won in, and they're hungry.
Oh.
And their names are Blue and Launders.
Oh.
They're ready to get in the action now. I don't know what you preverts over here were doing, but are thinking. But either way, guys.
Is that what you are before a pervert?
Yes.
No,
it's a prevert before the pervert.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen.
I'm like Hermione.
Also,
I'm like a prefect. All right. I'm like one of those like annoyingly good students.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not a prevert. Prefect.
Isn't a prefect like an English thing?
We're speaking English.
No. I mean like British. Like.
Wait, this isn't the
Let's
Chinese.
just go to the game.
I only know
Let's
prefect
just go
from
to
like
the
Harry
game. I don't
Potter,
want to
I'm gonna
hear
be
all
completely
this.
honest.
Yeah, let's just get out of here. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's just get to the game.
All right, moving swiftly on, we are going to be going into cash for our final map of the evening. And once again, we'll be Luminosity going up against the Renegades.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the Betway odds either.
No, I would absolutely take Luminosity on this map. So
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm almost surprised they weren't kind of flipped. Just because we look at Renegades playing such. I mean, it seemed like they should have done better on train, but then they didn't perform. So I wonder why people are so faithful in their cash when Luminosity's cash is really good. So it's like, I think just right off the bat, if this was the first map of the day, we didn't see either of these two teams play, I still feel like Luminosity maybe be slightly favored. And especially after that first map, I'm surprised the bets aren't lopsided in favor of Luminosity.
yeah, I mean, besides maybe like kind of Azure, we really didn't see anyone showing up to the table for Renegades as well. Like from an individual perspective, it was a very bland map for them. Didn't really.
Azza had like 14 and maybe was playing well, but
Yeah.
everybody else is
Just non-existent for the most part of that
Yeah.
map there. So it's going to have to be a pretty big recovery if they want to hold up to those odds and try to win this second map. Because otherwise, I would expect Luminosity to take this quite handily. Because I think, again, like the analysts were saying, that this is actually still a pretty good map for them, all things considered.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe the odds are right and we're wrong, and Renegades will just bounce back and kick some ass here.
I think that Luminosity, their map, I think at the beginning of the season I wasn't sold on their cash. They did, in my opinion, too many A executes and neglected mid a little bit. But as the season developed, I think they started to focus more and in their default think about late mids. And maybe they didn't like taking it early, and that's why they voted it completely. But now have incorporated it into their splits and stuff like that. So now I think it's strengthened to the point that that will work a lot. But Nifty will have a really good time on this map. It's an ultra mobile opper. He likes to be able to have the freedom to go from one position to another. If you put him on highway, which is a high frag position for even a rifler, and you give him an op, he's going to be bound to get kills. So it's going to be a threat at both mid and A. And Luminosity are really going to have to finesse their utility to make sure that he's neutralized.
I think when it comes to T side too, one of the reasons why Luminosity should have a pretty good advantage here, when you look at Nekaz and the entry power that he had on the last map, then That's also something that could come into play. But it's going to be Renegades that strike with first blood here in the second map. Cello trying to hold and trade it, but he can only get one trade. After that, Azur takes him down. And now it's a 4v3. Neck is once again trying to hit some nice headshots, some quicker ones. He's stuck in heaven. He's able to piece together. Has to kind of rip Nifty to shreds, but gets the job done. And that drops the bomb, too. He's going to be caught here, though, and trying to take the next duel versus Ustillo. And Azur, in the meanwhile, will pick up the bomb running inside Neckes. Ends up swinging out pretty wildly there, but now we're going to see the plant go down. And this is when Luminosity pushes back in. Ustillo holds against both the players trying to push back Generator, though. And with that, that's going to put it all into Neckes to try and clutch us. Otherwise, Renegades will come out on top with the pistol victory. Neckes even falling away from heaven now. Knows he can't push back in from that angle, so we'll try the tree room entrance. Even from here, though, this is going to be tough. There's great damage to Naf. You know, he doesn't have a kit either. There might be one down on the site somewhere, but 8 HP. Gets one more headshot kill into Ustillo. That won't matter much, though. Azur takes him down, and once again, Renegades take control over a pistol, just like we were seeing on the last map.
Uh-oh, that might be a warning sign. But this is when you really fall in love with your teammate, okay? You're planting the bomb so your hands are busy, you're hoping for cover, and then 2 instant one-taps come out to deny the CTs who are pushing in. And it was an opportune moment for them to do that. Naf was in a position where he didn't want to peek because he's in the prime after plant spot, so he should be dying last. And that put a ton of pressure on you still, and he delivered. So really great round on a important start to the game.
Still as well moving up there, quickly tapping away at Yell. Takes him a re-peek, but it will take him down. Naf's going to be a little bit careful here, though, as Cello's got a surprise. He sneaks back in, picks up 1 kill in his own regard, not long before he's traded, however, knocked out of the round for Luminosity. 3 players left standing, but it's probably not going to stay that way for very long, with Neckes already being brought down to 7 HP. And the other 2 playing into pretty predictable positions here. You can already see Azur watching out for Z just in case it gets pushed. But it's only a matter of time before Renegades end up pushing into the B site, getting that control. And with that, they have essentially all but secured the round.
Yeah, free plants. It's not even great spots for Luminosity to catch anyone off right, or just yet. In fact, I think Renegades might be hungry for these frags. 600 apiece on these kills. They've only got the 1 AK to protect. And I think he's in a pretty good spot, too. Where is their number 2 man? Yeah, he's over in tree room. Oh, it's going to come down to timing. Oh, and even with bad timing, a good readjustment.
That's another one down for LG. Neckes is pretty much completely detached from the play out towards B, so hiding in the squeaky tunnel, or the squeaky hall, I guess. He should be relatively safe, but with only him saving.
What's tunnel-like?
What's up?
It's tunnel-like.
It's kind of a tunnel, yeah.
I mean, what defines a tunnel? Does it have to be dirt in the ceiling?
I think it has to be underground. Like,
does it have to be underground?
Generally speaking, yeah, I would say. Because it's like, you think real life, there's not really a tunnel, like on the first floor of a building. A tunnel would be like...
Oh, it could be a tunnel on the first floor of the building, as long as there's building on top of the tunnel.
Yeah, but then is there ground above the first floor then? Like,
what counts as ground? I mean, we're all made of dirt.
Is it just sea level? Is that the determining factor?
Listen, we're just an amalgamation of atoms,
what if,
okay? So...
what if this map is in Denver? And then nothing is a tunnel.
I mean, yeah, if everything's a tunnel, nothing's a tunnel, right?
I think we're getting a little carried away with this.
I think we're getting somewhere, actually.
Neckes continues to pick up kills. And Ustillo is brought down low here. If Neckes gets his third kill, that's going to be quite impressive. I think Ustillo's smart, though. He's able to back away. He's actually using utility just to kind of keep Neckes away from him. He tries to run away, but he actually can't escape. Neckes chases him down.
Can't run from the Neckes.
Neckes is playing gun game right now as he's just upgrading his weapon with every kill. Started off with a CZ, then to the UMP. Now he's on an AK.
Gotta love that UMP run and gun. Even half blind is like, I have the opportunity. I need to chase this kill.
Eventually his streak will end, though. Azur's going to knock him out, and that secures the 3-0 start for the Renegades. But this is also what happened on the previous 2 halves on Train, and this is at the point where Luminosity started coming back. This is at the point where Luminosity started fragging out, so we'll have to see if that's going to repeat here now on a new map.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to apply what we saw in the first map to this. We would just say that this is, it'd be a funny coincidence if it did happen to be the case that Renegades had a hard start and then just got decimated in the second half. But there is a pretty good start, kind of from both sides. Decent damage onto the CTs to make sure they test the checkers cross. Some spam both ways. And it's hard to say who really comes out ahead. Excuse me. Luminosity do good damage, but Oh my gosh. Yell has one smoke. Nekas has a flash, but nobody else has anything to work with.
Zero utility for these guys to play off of here. Very minimal investment, unfortunately, because they don't get, the exception of the last round, they don't, and it's primarily from Nekas, they don't get a whole lot of kills. So entry attempts come in. Showtime holds the line, but only for that one kill, and in the sight too. It takes Cello so long to get this first kill. Now he's very low. He's going to have to rely on rotates. That's a great flash, but Renegades are smart. They actually get out of his way here, so they're not going to let him get anything else done. Naf into a great position along with Azur. They pick up 2 additional kills, leaving just Yell and PKL alive here. That Molly at Heaven will by the time they need to plant. CT's still going to try to move back in from tree room, but Naf position, hiding behind the barrels, is going to get in one, and almost a shot through the box from Yell, but it will miss.
All you have to do is not peek. Wait for someone to creep out. Either they'll go Heaven or they'll go CT. Either way, you can just trade the walkout. It's not going to be an easy round to win for Yell, and he's smart enough to know. I mean, in a pug, you might go for this, but smart enough to realize that not only will it'd be unlikely if he won this round if he went and found a rifle to work with, but he wants to save the op for the next round, since they probably won't be able to afford one. 4-round loss to support this save, which is pretty nice. But a good round overall from the Renegades. I like the just the quick aggression to get any early damage in as possible, some information, and then they let it cool off for a second so that the rotates can sort themselves out, and then decided to hit B hard versus a low utility buy.
Well, let's just put Luminosity back down into another eco here. Deagles for the most part, and obviously Yell saving the op has that firepower to work with along with Showtime's Scout, but Renegades should, in theory, be able to once again walk right over this round due to the minimalist buy that we're seeing from LG. However, we almost saw the eco upset in the 3rd round, so won't count it out completely. Chance it might happen again here if the Deagles can start off with the first couple nice kills going in their direction. Renegades already setting up. Gonna go A, I think, for the first time in this entire matchup so far. They have been favoring B on pretty much every single round besides this, so finally gonna try the other site and see if it works for them.
Start with this execute. I don't think they're lining up the Molotovs over the smoke. Oh, they are. Okay, that's good.
Now they're going to be ready to push back in. Flashbang will hold them away initially, but PKL misses his chance to try and kill the player sitting at Squeaky. Now he'll die. Yell, however, picks up one on his own, but it's not long before he's also dead. Nekas just tries to rush up past Forklift and, more importantly, out of the molly, but won't be able to do that. And now with the elimination of Cello and Showtime having retrieved the op, he'll have backed away. And we'll let this round go over to the Renegades, giving them a 5-0 start.
Just 1 op kill, consolation prize. It does take off their economy a little bit. It also gives them an idea of where Showtime is, which might make it hard to run. And I think it's at this point you cut your losses. So they lose all 4. Showtime with only 2 targets remaining will be very likely to find this next frag. Or, yeah, I mean,
all right.
they're dropping men here.
Oh, he misses that one due to the bomb explosion, though, and that's where Nifty's finally going to be able to move in and drop him. So actually doesn't end up saving the op at the end of the day, but I'm sure he'll be happy with the results of that, considering he pretty much wiped everyone else off of the off of his opponent's squad. And now they're going to be rebuying fully into this next round anyway.
Yeah, it was actually very good. I mean, it's very good for the Renegades they're able to get that, because they got the op back. They still have enough money to buy. They have some money left over. If they had only lost 3 people and not got the op and not taken them down, then that would have been a much worse situation. It did seem like a pretty good save overall up until the point that he died.
Yell starts us off now, armed with a new op. He's going to be able to pick up the first kill in this next gun round. That drops Nifty. However, look at how quickly he still is pushing up highway. PKL actually was originally not ready to take that battle. It's a miracle that he recovers in time. You can see Azur trying to move back out and trade it, and he still won't accomplish that, but it's going to be at heavy cost to Azur himself. He also almost dies due to the spam through the door. End up very low at 4 HP, and his teammate Naf will end up taking that position, but even Naf gets dropped down low because of spam through the door too. He's going to end up at 21 HP. So this has hit Renegades hard, and Luminosity have every advantage they could ask for at this point in the round.
They kept the pace extremely high. They were given mid. They got all the way up highway, and again, yeah, PKL could have just straight up died without getting a kill. Instead, he gets 1 kill and then does 90 damage to another. So he's provided a ton of value to his team. Oh, but 3-on-3 situation suddenly as Cello gets caught at it for a late mid hit. And another kill coming their way. Neka's trying to lurk his way into A main. Suddenly, no more man advantage.
bit greedy here from Luminosity as they try to go for these peaks and try to reassert intel at the very least, but not going to be happening. And now it's going to cost them big time. Yell, though, tries to reassert control, and with that kill on Naf, they've brought it back down into another even bout. Azur patiently waiting, but he's not ready to take the fight when push comes to shove. Knocks him out, and it just leaves JKS alive all of a sudden with only 20 seconds remaining.
He had a smoke to use. He had 2 flashes that he could have used. I mean, he didn't necessarily need to use it on Z, but clearly didn't have a lineup to work with. Showtime's in a pretty good spot to do some damage. Doesn't get the kill, though. Bomb goes down with just enough time to work with. And Showtime running up headshot. Will he get killed? Nope. It's just good enough to get the frag. But Renegades, I mean, giving that kill while crossing through a main was a bit of a misstep, but there were a ton of missteps both sides.
And so that does secure the first round on the board for Luminosity. Like I said before, after 5 rounds straight from Renegades. On the second gun round now, Luminosity will come out on top and start to establish a bit of an advantage for themselves. But with only 2 players alive, they are going to want to be a little bit careful about the monetary situation should Renegades come back in and immediately drop them here.
Yeah, solid position to be in. I don't think Az expected him to swing so wide from Z. Just like ran all the way out.
I think I figured out the whole tunnel situation, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Someone tweeted me the dictionary definition of a tunnel.
Yeah.
And I think the kicker is that it has to be dug through surrounding soil, earth, or rock.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's the determining factor of whether it's just a basement or a tunnel.
So we have to figure out if there was a mountain here before it became
At
cash.
some point, yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Is that how? Okay.
We have to find the geographical.
So basically, there's no way to know if cash is not a tunnel.
We just have to figure out where Cash is inspired by, or no? Well, it's basically like
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, right?
Yeah. Well, Chernobyl, I think, is in the background. I think. And this is just like.
But is Chernobyl in a mountainous region of?
Honestly, probably not. But there's no way we can know.
JKS moves in. He'll be able to start things off well for his team. They didn't manage that second player on the site, though, so PKL, that's elsewhere on the map, is going to be able to find Azur. That's just the lurker at A going down, but Cello is going to be the player that could really make or break this here, as he's doing some good damage and even better off delaying the rest of the hit. Didn't realize, though, up until it was too late, that Nifty had jumped through his smoke, so Nifty picks up the response kill, takes him down. That's now the site under the T's control. Oh, they got to be a little bit careful about this plant here, because now Yustillo burns up down to 31 HP. It's still an even battle, too, a 3v3, and Nifty looking at the wrong elevation there. Yell just crawls on top of his crosser to take him out of the picture.
Elevation. Tunnel. Thinking emoji.
With Yustillo's kill, though, brings it back down again. And Naf is yet to even strike, too. I think they're expecting these players to be on the site. Yustillo just managing this all on his own right now. A little bit low at 2 HP, so might want to call for some help to take down Yell, but knows he's now the last man standing, and in his attempt to save, knocks out one. Almost gets the second there, too. But it will be enough to force Naf back the other direction. Keep Yell alive, more importantly, here.
Does he die? Oh, no, he's tons of
Naf's
health.
perfectly fine.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. I didn't realize you could survive with that much HP. Honestly, no one's really working together on either side. There's definitely a lack of teamwork here. Like, even the trades coming in, the spacing was so bad that was, I don't want to say so bad, it was kind of bad. Like, JKS was way far out with no one right behind him to make sure that if he didn't get the kill, that someone else could get it in his place. If Naf didn't if Nifty didn't just hop through the smoke on site to get that opening frag, would they even have come close to winning the round? And then on the retake, Luminosity just kind of peeking one at a time to see if they can get a kill. Will they start the retake? So you can kind of see why that favors a terrorist and why maybe the Renegades have an advantage, but it seems like there's definitely a lack of teamwork here from both ends.
Even the potential to do damage on these anti-eco rounds has been pretty strong for Luminosity, but the follow-through on a lot of this has been pretty poor, as we did see them picking up a first kill from Nekis, but now he's been dropped there at white box, as you can see. Nifty taking him down, bringing us back down to a 4v4, and they're just going to go for another B-execute. Nifty, though, didn't actually catch Cello initially, so he just barely edges off the headshot to take down Nifty. Again, though, instant trade. No one set up to trade Cello. Showtime just kind of playing his own game up onto the platform right now. So in a moment, he's going to get pushed pretty heavily, and unless he's able to turn this into a close-range fight, we'll get overwhelmed. Actually, Yell moves in, kind of saves him a little bit, and we even do see a dink go off onto Azza. So I wouldn't count this one over just yet. It's going to have to be a massive clutch from PKL, but a beautiful headshot as he takes Snap out of the air, clips his wings, and he only needs one bullet to take down Azur. Picks up the AK anyway, but he's going to dodge this flash. And we'll just take this very slowly. Knows for certain that Azur's going to want to try to look for him and figure out what position he's playing from. So with Pickle having all this time to play off of, he sits in the mini pit. Waits this one down. Neither player's going to move, though, so eventually PKL is going to have to make a move himself, and he currently does not have a kit. I'm unsure if there's one on the site.
What a spot.
He's going to move up. Right in plain sight, too. He hasn't been able to see him sitting on the other side of this box. This is perfect. PKL tags onto it, and surprise! Azur waiting behind that box, picks up the kill against PKL, and that's Renegades. That should not have won that 1v1 as they steal it away.
That was so dirty, man. That was such a sick play. I mean, he's running a risk here because if someone walks up late headshot, they have an advantage since he doesn't have that much HP and he's got a hit headshot. But if they don't go there, we can see that he couldn't have been cleared from the site at all. He would have had to been called out like on a hard read. So that was a really sick way to play when you have 20 HP and you've got to get creative.
Now, Luminosity back down onto pretty much a full eco. Neck is trying to hide in that smoke, but at that range, the USP is like rolling the dice, and we do see him go down to Azza pretty quickly. That's already mid-control established for the Renegades, and I think they might try to chain this together into a quick execute for themselves from mid. Which site is still kind of up in the air? They've been favoring B to a very large degree. I think if they get this kill on Cello, they might as well just follow through with it, but they've got players pushing up highway too. So they honestly might just end up DMing their way through this round since they've already brought it down to just 2 players. It's not even really a site take needed anymore, just a matter of hunting down Yell, and they've already got the round under their control. And there you go.
Yeah, it was kind of a close eco round. It's another save they have to deal with. 8-1. Luminosity are looking worse for wear. Don't have much to work with. Renegades know that they're low, might not be able to afford head armor, but are in no position to think about like dropping a gun for a Mac 10 or anything like that. Luminosity have a single kit, kind of just enough utility to make this passable, but we've got to do a little bit better than they have been. And they definitely have to tighten up when they have man advantage.
Still waiting for Renegades, however, to get ready to deploy out onto the site. It's the first time in a while they're going to have to go up against an actual full buy from Luminosity that's been well set up to counter the execute from Renegades. Like, you already have PKL with control of A main. You don't have a whole lot of players out of the site, which is really the only black mark on this setup. Oh, and that's another one. As Nifty will be able to move back in. Ustillo as well takes out the first highway player. And just like that, this setup crumbles. Luminosity with a very, very low chance to come back in this round, and now it's pretty much impossible with the elimination of Yell. Both the players that are alive were the committed B players, and they'll probably just be sticking in that site now to save. As the Renegades, only 1 or 2 entries to secure a site for themselves and secure a round, more importantly.
Gotta say, those Betway odds are starting to make a lot of sense.
It's the machines. They're coming for the analyst job, too.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were safe, but apparently not. Proving everyone wrong here.
Luminosity are gonna take a second to breathe, talk over what might be going wrong for them, and from my perspective, they're just getting shut down whenever they look for information, which is just a really good thing by the Renegades. But I think that what needs to change is they need to do things in pairs to guarantee trades, to make sure at the very least, you know, it goes down to a 4v4 or something like that if they want to give up mid control. But pushing the right extremity at the right time is their most key issue, and figuring out how to make a pick guaranteed is also a big deal. CT side of cash calls for the aggression, and we're seeing it, but we're not seeing also the completion of kills.
The positions in general that are being taken by Luminosity are very individual focused. They're not very conductive to trades and whatnot, as you were just explaining. And the bigger problem is that the performance from the first map is definitely not carried over in any sense of the word. So while playing in these positions might have been somewhat forgivable if this was back on train and they were having the performance that they were having there, here we're not seeing that. And not only that too, but oftentimes they're trying to do this on eco rounds where more than likely they're still going to die. So they're basically just handing over free kills to Renegades way too often, and it's making it very simple for them to get 5v3s and then just easy executes onto either site.
I think 2 players buy. Wait, did they save?
Can we see money?
Shoot,
It's equal. I think those 2 guys just had a little bit of extra cash.
yeah, maybe.
But one is already dead, so.
Yeah, maybe he's in a position where they can recover the gun. It might not be that easy.
I don't even know which side he went to either. He might have just been playing with the other rifler. Well, Yell's finally going to come out on top, and I guess that's one way to recover another rifle, as Yell's just going to take the AK out of Az's hands. This will also push the A main player back a little bit to make sure he doesn't continue pushing outside of the hallway. And he's still out.
Oh,
He's got to be careful here. Does correct in time, though, to take down Yell. And that leaves us in a 4v2. Still have that one rifle to deal with, and in fact, that's going to be the one that nets them a kill. As they complete a flank around A main, taking out that A main T player that was sitting there lurking. So a bit of a nasty surprise, but now with B fully secured, and also having NAF and Sunroom, this is a position that more than likely is not going to get checked by PKL. Assuming that that is the case, NAF should be able to take him down, and then it's all really a matter of just managing Cello from within the site. Yep, exactly right. PKL does not check this side of that box. Cello might as well just save here.
Yeah, he's going to hang on to all this utility. Man, they are in such a terrible position. 10-1 so far on the T side of Cash. I mean, maybe they're a little nervous. I wonder. We've seen a lot of maps being traded. I wonder how this is going to affect the scoreboard. I'm really curious about this leaderboard. Or not this one in particular, but the standings overall.
Yeah. I think these guys are pretty close to each other too on the standings. Let me see if I can pull it off my phone real quick.
Let's see. Defaults out. You go for mid-control again. They're doing it fast. I definitely agree with like putting on pressure with a high tempo early on. Neck is nice early. 2 kills though. And Cello's gonna catch JKS off guard as well. Suddenly, Blue looks at his phone and it's a much better half already for Luminosity.
I should just leave.
Just bad luck.
Yeah,
Dude.
apparently. So a complete change up to the situation. What's interesting, even more interesting, is the second I put the phone down, Nifty starts getting these kills. So
Yeah, Nifty 1v5 now.
we'll see him continue to play this very slowly. You'll note he doesn't have the bomb right now either. He's going to have to go back to the mid garage at some point to get that, and I think he will do that before he commits inside of the vents here.
Yeah, I think it's in his best interest to make this round as long as possible. To really attempt to go for this, I mean, honestly, it's possible because of the nature of the CT side. It's not like he's going to have to get 3 retake kills. Instead, he can try to make it a 1v1, work towards getting the bomb down, know that Luminosity are going to be relatively split up. And here they have a lot more information on B, so the CTs are positioned such that they can watch Z and watch A at the same time and stay close together on this side of the map. Interesting. They are moving towards mid for some reason.
Which is going to let Nifty walk right in, assuming they don't push out of Z.
Why do they need to do this, I wonder? They don't spot anything. He's going to get a bomb down. Okay.
He's also got a smoke and a molly for the post plant. Oh, but they do see him because he crosses too slowly. So there we go. They deny the plant. More importantly, they deny the clutch that could have potentially happened there. And that finally puts another round on the board for Luminosity.
Almost got tricky. I mean, they didn't necessarily need the plant. They would have liked to get as many kills as possible. Now, Luminosity's got 2 ops. Showtime and Yell.
These guys are tied, by the way, in the standings.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're tied. It's a 3-way tie between these two and Energy.
Jeez.
So if they trade maps, they're basically just going to stay tied.
Man.
Unless this goes to OT.
And then they just got to hope for, like, Energy to O2.
Yeah, essentially. Well, the thing is it's 7th, 8th, and 9th that they're tied for in positioning. So they're actually just outside of it.
So they need someone in the top 6 to lose, man.
Yeah, the next highest team is Misfits at 38 points, and they each have 32. So if they would have...
Well, they both get 3 more points. So if somebody else, does that help them move up?
They still have to win, though, because they still have to catch up to Misfits at least at 38. Because 38 is the entry point to the top 6 right now. So if someone would have 2-0'd here, they would have caught up with Misfits and got to 38. But if they trade, then they're only going to come up to 35, I think, if my math is right.
Okay. Well, we can assume that until this game is over, Luminosity are going to be firing on all cylinders, and Yell is certainly making a case for that. A couple of clean op shots being hit, 3v3 though. Mid-control taken. NAF looking to make it an easy round for the terrorists, and now they just have to worry about the rotators. Nice, great control.
Now that leaves only Cello alive. He's going to attempt to sneak back in, but Naf just takes full control by getting up on top of the big red bin to shut down Cello and secure 11-2. The more important note, too, if they do end up remaining, if they remain tied, and that goes all the way to them being tied for like the 6th spot, is that
Their head-to-head.
their head-to-head matchup is what ends up mattering, because that's going to end up being what would decide it. So
whoever wins the one map more decisively might matter.
Yeah, so
Even if
right-
they split.
So right now, if Renegades continues and just wins 16-2, they would win in a tie scenario.
They're going to Odense.
Yeah, but they still have to get to the top 6,
But they still have to get to the top 6.
which is going to be a bit tough if they trade maps here.
It's going to be a long tunnel. A long, dark tunnel.
It's a bit of a split buy here from Luminosity. They're able to piece together at least an AWP and an M4, but it's CZs and a Deagle. Besides that, as they've also spread their players out quite a bit all across the map here. 2 in mid, 2 on the A site, and only 1 defending B, since Renegades have actually kind of shifted away from B-centric play. They were big fans of it early on in the half, but that's changed up. Primarily just A plays in the late half here. Oh! And Nifty hits the shot through the smoke. It is also, I think, partially through the box or something like that, so it's going to only bring him down to 13 HP. Oh, whoa. What? Did he just hit it again?
Dude, his cash wall banks are so unreal.
Now it's PKL getting tagged this time. Just priming everyone up. He's tenderizing the players so that the rest of his team could melt them down when he moves into the site. However, as they move in, it's going to be Renegades picking up all the kills. Except for now, we see Showtime, Nekaz, and then Nekaz continues to push forward over there at Forklift to find a 3rd kill against Renegades. Now all of a sudden, there's only 2 alive, but they're going to pull the bomb back to B as JKS just walked through the entire site and found it completely open.
Oh, Neff has to really work on his cardio here. 20 seconds left, but JK is in such a prime spot. Oh, is Cello going to realize it? Oh, it doesn't matter. Clothesline.
Gets ragdolled, set over into the corner as he dies there, and now we're even again into a 2v2. But Luminosity have quite a bit of utility to get back into this site with. More than anything, just that molly.
That's an interesting smoke.
Which, did they? Oh, yeah, they used that molly into the corner of the rafters there, so now they're not going to have it for the site. They will have the HE grenade, but that's pretty much going to miss completely. Naf holds for the first kill, and even worse than that, Nekaz misses his op shot, giving each of the remaining Renegades player 1 additional frag as they secure their 12th round going into the final 1.5. And Luminosity also have dirt money here, so they're just going to have CZs for the most part in their final buy.
And this is why it's always important to keep your options open as much as you possibly can. And there, in just the soft lurk that JKS had on the B site, him being able to push through, bring his teammate back in the 2v3 was such big information. And you know, again, you don't always need 5 people to take a site, and if you do, you've got bigger problems. So it's usually great to either 4-1 or 1-3-1 whenever you can. Just in case the site hit doesn't go as planned.
JKS is going hunting into the typical spots, but the first player to strike is actually going to be Nekaz back out at mid. He's traded, though, by Naf. Naf gets flashed. Oh, he's able to escape, though, just before Yell gets into a position where he'd be able to take him out. And now that is going to make things a bit awkward for the Renegades. As it looks like they're actually just going to commit themselves into A main to get ready for a walk-up into the A site here. But look at how close Luminosity are to flanking them. They've already pushed B halls. They know there's nothing there. They're 100% certain that this is going to be an A play. There's no way it could be going to B. So they have everyone rotated in, and Renegades are going to be going up against a nasty surprise if they're not ready for it. Look at Showtime walks right in, kills the upper, gets a second kill on JKS, and they don't even know that there's a second player in here just yet either. So they're very quickly going to swarm and knock out most of the roster. It's only Azza left alive, but Azza will do his best to hold on. The first kill is easy. It's the second kill that's impressive as it's through a smoke onto AL. Now tries to take down Showtime inside of A main. He still has 30 seconds to play this out, too. He's locked him down, and now he has to look for the last player, but didn't realize Cello went inside of that mini cubby, so Cello is patient enough and just barely wins it at the end. That secures a 3rd round for them, but they still have a lot of work to do to come back in the second half. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen, see if that is going to be possible, or if the Renegades will just shut things down here in our second and final map of the night between these two teams at the ESL Pro League.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedwin, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Well, hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League for our final time tonight. We're about to jump into the second half between Renegades along with Luminosity here, and it's been quite the reversal from what we saw back on Train, where it was pretty much dominant for Luminosity, and now it's been the exact opposite. It's been the Renegades just crushing things here on Cash, and it seems like those Betway odds were right after all.
I'm just going to bet with those odds. Yeah.
Always trust the odds, apparently.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, both teams, I think both teams have to play both maps, but in this situation, I'm surprised like Luminosity haven't busted out more on their CT side, but overall, it definitely seems like Renegades have earned their keep. And I mean, that's it. They've only got 4 rounds to end this out, and it's actually kind of interesting that this has the potential with these two teams, both in contention for the top 6, that this could come down to head-to-head. And, you know, at the very least, even if Luminosity don't win this, every single round might matter.
Absolutely, and it's very much going to come down to the fact that at the very least, we want to see Luminosity, if not win this map now, at least try to get more rounds than Renegades got in the last map, because that will mean if it does come down to a head-to-head tie versus these two teams, that that we would see, in this case, we would see Luminosity come out on top because they would have won with more alive. But if that does not change, and we do see Renegades close out with like 16-3 or 16-4 here, then that would mean that Renegades would win in the head-to-head tie, because that's how the tiebreaker works. It goes via the head-to-head. If one team won 2-0, obviously they take the advantage, but it was 1-1. Whoever had the higher round advantage will end up winning. I think it's a little bit different if they go to overtime, but hopefully we avoid that confusing conundrum.
Yeah, we never wanted to come to that. So here's some halftime stats. Nekaz, who was quite the player on the first map, 91 ADR here. Neff, Azza, Ustillo, all leading the charge on Renegades. And these guys are the guys we were talking about that really weren't showing up on the first map. Coming through big time now.
Meanwhile, besides Nekaz, it's been pretty lackluster from most of Luminosity here in the second map.
Felt like Nifty was doing work that half, didn't it? So those wall bangs, he was getting tons of rifle kills early on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Only 77 ADR, so I'll have to work on that a little bit. But it is 12-3 right now in the favor of the Renegades, so only just a few more, especially if they win the pistol, needed to close out. And they have been flawless so far on pistols in this series. They are 3 for 3.
That's going to catch up with you eventually, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get a flu shot every year, eventually you're going to get a flu. You know what I mean? You need to put some pistols on the board.
Absolutely. Luminosity have been able to skirt by that on the first map. But here on the second map, that has not been the case. And they fell behind big time. So let's hope that they can at least win one of these pistols and buy themselves a ticket to fight back. As if not, well, it is going to be a very dominant second map for the Renegades. And they will be able to, well, remain tied with Luminosity, at least push past Energy and get one step closer to being in the top 6. You can see the odds there, too, changing up. If you think Luminosity is going to come back, you might want to put your bets in now. I'll help out with you a little bit. Nekaz and PKL both able to pick up some kills to trade out here as they move in and get B site control, but it's still left down to an even 3v3 after everything is said and done. And Renegades will have more than just the usual positions at Heaven and Tree Room to push back in with here. And actually, I thought Nekaz was going to push Tree Room for a second there, decides against it, just goes to blue. Nekaz also able to find Nifty there too, and with Hazard falling down, it's going to all come down to Ustillo here. Does good damage to the second player. It even gets up onto the platform here too. Is isolated the 1v1 against Cello, but Cello will win it. And for the first time in this entire series, Luminosity is finally going to be able to take control of a pistol.
Yeah, that might be good. That might be good for them. Now again, every round might matter, so this could actually incentivize a force even. But it looks like Renegades are more concerned with closing this out, considering they could taste victory and are investing without. I think they've definitely had a conversation about the armor changes and then decided that they don't need to on the second round force up completely. Definitely agree with this change. Like to see it. I like to see it become more standard. Having some money left over on any round is always good. So there's basically no situation I think that you want to buy down to 0 apart from your rifle rounds.
Limits your utility quite a bit going into that first gun round. So
yeah,
if you go for the outright force here.
Yeah, and there's always going to be a round in the future where you don't have enough money. You wish you had $300 more, you know. So that will add up.
It'll be very slow at the opener here for Luminosity. They do not want to make any mistakes and end up getting ecoed, as that would certainly start ringing the death bells for them if they are not careful. Like I said, it's about maximizing the amount of rounds that they pick up at this point if it should come down to a tie.
Molly doesn't work too well. Tello doesn't actually plan to clear it, though. It's actually receded back at mid. Azur in kind of a favorable spot, and no teammate to support him properly. I mean, he probably should have got that kill, but LG seemed more well set up to deal with this aggressive A main setup.
So Nifty will get 1 kill at least. However, they are kind of going to be lambs of the slaughter now that Luminosity do have decent access to the site. Naf is next to Fallen for JKS. Knows he isn't going to be able to pull off the 1v4, so has started to fall away here. And that will give the round over to Luminosity. They'll go 12-5.
I like the 2-tier defense from the CTs because it almost works as a bait too, where if you set up an A main aggressively like that and the Ts get away with it, then they think, oh, you're not properly stacked at A, that's why you pushed up, and that can get them to come into the site. And when they did that, you know, 2 more CTs in pretty calculated positions, able to get 1 frag, which is nice. So, I mean, if Azur gets the kill, whole round changes, but they still at least got something out of it and showed a pretty interesting eco round.
One more full save for the Renegades, and then we should see them full buying. But keeping track of this tie indicator here, that is going to bring it up to 12-6. 16-8 is where the previous map ended. So Luminosity want to get more than 8 rounds.
Well, it's total head-to-head, right? This is the only time they played in the season?
Yeah, they only play once per season.
Oh, they only play once. Okay.
Well, technically they played the 2 best of ones, but tonight is the only time they'll play the entire season.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I mean, this is serious.
Yep, so when they get to the first gun round here, they have 2 more chances. I forget what happens if they tie at 16-8, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Voldemort appears.
You shall not be named. The other tiebreaker condition. Bit of trades happening here. Not a whole lot getting done by the Renegades. Okay, never mind. JKS leaps over there and finds the kill onto Yell at least, but this is all happening at A, where the actual take is not happening. Luminosity have already moved into B. They've gotten full control, and that should pretty much be the end of the round. They're getting LG up to 6. But with the kills that have happened, if they can at least take out 1 or 2 more of these guys on exit, that's probably going to make Renegades pretty happy going into the first gun round, as that's going to force a whole lot of rebuys. It's no longer really going to be a bonus round. It's going to turn into the first real gun round for both teams.
Let's see how they deal with this. They clearly want to set up to try to kill exits. They have kind of a person in every position. Oh, that's some good damage. And again, each of these kills can be really, really important. I don't know if he knows as well that there's 1 frag. That's a rifle down. And Cello's still fighting there. Another kill as well. That's an AK recovered, 4 down for Luminosity. And they should have just exited the same way. That's like rule number 1. Exit from the same choke point.
They will make that mistake, which goes back to the point I was making earlier. Look at all these rebuys. Look at how low the money gets for the majority of LG here. So if they drop this round, odds are they're going to end up on half-bot territory or the force buy, which might not be so great. Basically depends on, assuming Renegades win this round, how many players they have left alive. Started off, though, nice little boost over top of the truck to try and spot a white box player. It's going to be there, however, from the CTs. Oh, never mind. But Yell's going to miss that opportunity.
I like those new sounds.
They threw me off at first, but then
Yeah?
it's like, oh wait, yeah, they did change these sounds. So
I like the shots on metal.
yeah. I like the noise that
Someone's got to come up with a song soon.
What's up?
Some kind of like cringe, different material beat.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yell's gonna get this first kill, and now this starts off the execute. But the CTs have a smoke to counteract this, so this is actually gonna kind of pen in the Ts. But they're ready to fight if the CTs want to come in and take them out. Oh, man. And they knock out both Naf and Azur. Both of them get denied. This is not what the Renegades need right now, as Luminosity have pushed back in, and they've got full site control. In fact, JKS and Nifty might just call for a save outright. And they are going to fall back.
This is why you always listen to the analyst before you go on Betwave, kids. I'm totally joking, but that was a convincing round, and it is Luminosity's T side that kind of defines how good they are on cash. So it is something to worry about. We would have expected with the lead that they had moving into this that this should have been an easy closeout, but now Luminosity are looking very strong. Even though they lost 4 guns last round, on this round they make up for it by surviving with 4 alive. And although this round isn't over, Renegades aren't in a great position to chase these exits. There's only one person within distance, but doesn't look like he's gonna have to fight anybody.
Yeah, so both of them should stay alive. It's gonna be around for Luminosity, and like we said before, 16-8 was how the previous map ended, so just one more round needed, 2 more rounds technically, for Luminosity to end up coming out on top of Renegades.
Yeah, what happens if they tie on head-to-head?
If they both get 16-8, I forget what happens.
Fight to the death IRL?
No, because
No. Entertains. me for a
there's legit
second.
like
I
8,
like this
there's like
idea.
8 different tiebreaker conditions. It's like really thorough.
Okay.
So there is that. This is like that's the head-to-head thing is only the first step. So I forget what it goes down to after that. I think it's like season round differential after that, if I recall correctly.
It'd be really messed up if they're like, this team has way cooler hair on average, or something. Right? That'd be so messed up.
Fan vote.
Fan vote. Remember when they fan vote banned Pith because they thought he was cheating on a site that he was the moderator of in 2013?
No,
So ridiculous.
That was before my time. That was before I came
So
into this.
absurd. He got this Deagle ace with the old Deagle
Yeah.
on Dust 2, and another seriously easy round it looks like for Luminosity. I'll get to that in a second. I'm surprised you missed that. That was crazy.
I didn't come into CS till like late 2014, so
Oh, okay.
that's why.
Yeah. So like a long time ago, before the Deagle was as good as it was, because I don't even know what's going to happen here. The bomb's going over towards B. I think PKL is here just to throw some kind of crummy fake. He gets a kill. If Azza got the kill, we might see a rotate to the other side because he'd have some info on A main. But now it looks like they have this round like sealed up for sure.
Yeah, and PKL is just going to distract in A here, trying to manage the last 2 players. There's a pretty good chance that he gets traded here, especially with Naf looking for him. There you go. Nice little wide up there. They both contribute to it. But they've been tricked. They've been bamboozled into believing it's going to be an A hit, so now they will be once again trapped within the A site, looking for a save, as there's no way they're retaking in a 2v4 while they're still positioned this far away from the site.
Okay, so I'm going to say, let me tell the story really quick, okay?
Okay,
This is a history lesson, I guess, for people. It's not much of a history lesson. It's a dark moment in our history, okay? This is really sad. Pith, once he had this Deagle ace on Dust 2, he had it from Goose, if someone wants to tweet that to Blue, and it was insane because this Deagle was so bad, there was no way you could get an ace this good, right? But Pith is really effing good. So, you know, he gets this ace, and then this site that I believe he's moderator on, or was moderator on, which was like the Swedish gaming forum, something like that, they vote whether or not to ban him because they think he's cheating. And the community voted to ban him, and he got banned.
From his own site. Or
From a site that he was like a
moderating.
moderator on.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely, it was like, went full read, dude.
Well, it's actually surprising in the way that the save ends up going there, because Luminosity ended up getting most of their players wiped from the board due to the save that came out from I forget exactly what they op at the end there. It wasn't Nifty, but anyway, regardless, it works out well. But Nifty is going to be able to jump right out here and pick up a quick kill. Problem is he gets traded moments later, and JKS stuck in the box. They don't actually check him, so he's going to run right up with the CZ in hand, but peeks checkers a little bit too quickly. It leads to a quick trade for Luminosity. And this is the round right here. This is one they need to win in order to break tiebreaker condition, although Azur leaps in from heaven, and he's got the last player down low too. Nicely done by Azur. Gets the double kill on the CZ, and wow, I'm actually amazed he didn't kill Yell right there. But they've got Yell trapped in the corner. He's going to try his best to recover. He's been smoked off the other angle. Misses another op shot. That's strike 2. If you miss one more than likely he's a dead man. Well, I won't count that one, but...
All right, let's see what the long con is. Smoked out at both choke points. Technically, he could be in checkers, so they have to. They smoked everything out, actually. It's as good of a defense as they could ask for. They just need to do 1 damage to him. I mean, he's very hurt. Doesn't seem like they heard the big rotate, so he's going to come through CT. Will he go heaven, or will he just walk in? Drop onto the site. Will the scope come out is the question. It doesn't seem like he's going to do it. I personally would definitely rely on the quick scopes just to not give things away. Oh, opportunity for a frag. Misses it. They're going to reposition, make his life hell.
And now they know exactly how to counter it out here. Running low on time as well. Only 25 seconds remaining. So he's going to use... Oh. There we go. Let's try that again. Uses the Molly, and the Molly just acts as bait so that Naf can go out into the open, finish him off, and secure number 13 for the Renegades. Luminosity have not pushed past that 8th round just yet.
Nope, it's not quite over.
This was sick, though.
Not on Az's clock. he wasn't really aiming at the.
Just worked out. He's like, "Hello, guys.
Yep.
Don't mind me."
Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs. So I don't know if it's one team trying to ice the kicker or Renegades trying to figure out how they won that round, but it was an eco. Oh, I thought there might have been a pause.
Well, this round should be
Oh,
dead.
whoa. We don't have enough players to go on this round.
Yeah, this round should be dead. So.
This is pretty cocky from the Renegades.
What's up?
It's pretty cocky from the Renegades.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can see the players just standing, not actually fighting. So, round is definitely dead, and we will medic it back down to the start of this round at 13-8. As you can see there, that the T still had a little bit of money, so they're not done fighting just yet. But with them bringing themselves up to 13 rounds, it certainly helps here to try and close out and at least tie at that 16-8 point.
Yeah, that'd be a good position to do it in. It's hard to say that they've shown themselves that they can, though. They tried, that they can have a clean rest of the half. It seems very unlikely. I would assume that Luminosity at least win 3 to 4 more rounds, if not win the whole game, just based on how well they've been playing on their comeback. A lot of these rounds look very decisive. They look like they're firing on all cylinders now. And again, it's their T side. I think that is the reason that we talk about their cash in the first place. So I actually think there's a chance that Luminosity still win this game.
All right, well, there you go. No, I'd actually agree with that quite well too, simply because we see a lot more players showing up better on the T side. Specifically, you look at like Nekaz, right? And we go back to Train, and not just Train, but like his performance in general on T sides on maps. He's way better at just moving in and finding entry kills, I think, than him trying to play a defensive role. And we've seen examples of that on the last map really well. He just single-handedly went in and dominated sites back on Train, and he definitely has the capability to do that on Cash too. As it's a map that allows your players to do that if you can position them properly.
So we're gonna take a break. Is this gonna be a extended...
I think it should be a quick medic, so I think we're just
okay.
just gonna hang out for a
Sometimes
little
we
bit.
don't even know.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like hanging out with you, Blue. You're all right. You're good people.
There we go.
What kind of phone you got?
What?
What?
I have a Pixel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right now, anyway.
Yeah.
I technically have like 3 phones right now, but.
So one for the plug, one for the drop. What was it? What's the line in the 2? I got
What?
2 phones, one for the plug and one for I can't remember the other.
Oh, I think I know you.
Yeah, but what's the
I don't
third
know the
part?
line, but
Okay.
yeah. One's a business phone.
Oh, one's a business phone.
Yeah.
Blue LLC.
Yeah. No, it's not what it's called.
Blue Incorporated.
It's called something else. It's a shady back end LLC. It's
Oh, is that right?
It's like a megacorp.
I'd like to hear more about it.
Soon to be. We'll talk about it more after the break, ladies and gentlemen, as we are still working on getting it medicked. So stick with us, and we'll be right back with the continuation of this match.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
we are back again, guys. It's time to resume this match. We did have a player disconnect in the middle of a round, which means we had to medic it, but I think we should be good to go now. It's 13-8, if memory serves me correctly, in the favor of the Renegades in the 3 more rounds. They'll be able to take it. They just won the most recent round, too, so they are coming back into this game with a slight advantage.
Yeah, it seems like a long shot that Luminosity will be able to come back into this, but based on what we've seen in the second half, they are kind of a different team now, and it's actually Renegades who are struggling quite a bit, so maybe they'll be lucky enough to irk out these last couple of rounds, like they were lucky enough to grab that eco round, for example. But if not, and things go as things are planned, I think that Luminosity can do this. I'd say maybe they have like a 40% chance. That's what it kind of feels like to actually come back into this, yeah.
Yes, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Of course, they do still have a long road to recover here, since the scoreline is unfortunately not playing into their favor at all. But like I said before, it's not necessarily the outcome of this match that matters all that much. If they can at least tie 1-1, they still remain in the same place as their opponents here in the standings. And since we're getting to the end of the season, that is what matters much more than the individual matches. What matters, I think, at this very moment for Luminosity is to at least win that one final round. So if it does end up being a tie between these two teams at the end of the season, which is very likely considering how close these teams are, then they would at least win that tiebreaker scenario, because the last map ended 16-8 in the favor of Luminosity. If they can get at least a 9th round, then they'll have the better record in the head-to-head tiebreaker, which is usually what it goes to determine who has the higher rating of their team if they tie at the end of the season. So just one more round from them, and that'll guarantee them that at least. But if they can outright come back and win, that'll be even better, because then they take home 6 points today instead of only 3, and they would be able to tie with the current 6th place team, which I believe is Misfits now.
Yeah, I wonder if that's even on their mind, really, if they're just thinking about winning or losing. I wonder if they might have done the math or even thought about it, but yeah, they probably have. I feel like I'd spend a fair amount of time thinking about like what exactly I need to do.
Yeah.
Like, what's my bare minimum here? Like, I'm not trying to work harder than I need.
It's probably the coach that did it, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in the area of coaches, so yeah, Kassad is probably
the manager or something like that. It's like, all right, guys, you need to win at least this many games.
yeah. Please.
And that's all he told them. He didn't explain the tiebreaker thing or anything like that, though. I highly doubt it anyway. But unfortunately, it does look like they are currently redoing the match medic, which is why we have not gone back and gone live yet. So that's why we're still waiting. And yeah. How's it going?
Don't look at me like that.
So just to kind of propose a question to you here now and talk a little bit more. What do we think we can see Luminosity do specifically to come back into this one? What are the mistakes that they've made to get to this point in the match? And
what are the mistakes they've made to get to this point? Oh, okay, because
So-
the first
so
half went so badly?
what's up?
Because the first half went so badly.
Yeah, because the first half went badly.
Well,
I mean, they've already done a good job of recovering, right? Like, they start off this half really good. It started 13-2. They come back to 8. And now they've lost this next round. Sort of, how are they going to keep the momentum rolling?
yeah, so like as if falls out of heaven and then just gets like a 2K with a CZ.
Yeah.
That's going to happen sometimes. You know, someone's going to fall out of heaven and get a 2K with a CZ. That's going to happen. But overall, like, they haven't made too many mistakes so far. I mean, I'm really just thinking about this from the perspective of Renegades. Like, how do we actually get these last 3 rounds? We don't know how to do that. Wait, with that eco round, do they have 13 or 14?
13.
Okay. Yeah.
So they need 3 more rounds.
And was that the last round that we just saw?
Yes.
Oh,
They just got the 13. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting then. It's how do they just make sure that they grab this 14 so that they don't get reset, put themselves in a very difficult position? Because right now, if they get reset, then Luminosity will get that 9th round and then a double save 10-11 if Renegades decide to force. That is when it's pretty much Luminosity's game to lose.
Yeah, and that's when they can easily come back.
They're within 2 and they've already won like 7, 8 rounds and a half in a row.
I didn't get to see it either, but I'm also somewhat curious about where Luminosity's money is at right now, because I think it might be broken on this upcoming round if they lose it, if memory serves me correctly. And that pretty much goes the other way, and that's going to put Renegades up to 14 if they win the next gun round, and give them a free eco round, or potentially just a pitiful force buy from Luminosity to put them up to 15. And at that point, just one final gun round to close out.
And that's when we look at all those rounds that Renegades were able to get those kills in the save. That actually tallied up to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single round that people die, it's just no one really talks about it. No one really pays attention to it. They just focus on like winning, but winning's only $3,500. You know, like no full buy is complete with just the win bonus. You need to have money from the last round. You need to have money left over. You need to have money from winning rounds in a row. So, and from that perspective, if you're able to do economic damage, chip away at them on the eco rounds, 2 kills 1 round, 3 kills another round, not letting them exit, recovering guns for yourself, then you're always keeping your opponent 1 away from saving. And if that's true, that means they've done so much damage, even on like 3 or 4 rounds of saving out of the 8 rounds they won. It's just like to keep them 1 away from a save at this point. I'd be surprised actually if that was the case, but if it is, they're.
It's either they get. I think they have at most like 1 more rebuy. Again, I'm just trying to pull the numbers out of my brain right now, but that's my best guess on the situation. Well, guys, once again, unfortunately, like I said before, we did have to redo the match medic, so it's going to take a couple more moments, but do stick with us, and as soon as we have the game actually ready to go, we'll be jumping back into it. Stick with us, and once again, we will return with the continuation of this match between the Renegades and Luminosity. Welcome back again, guys, to the ESL Pro League here, where hopefully we do have the match set up now between Luminosity and the Renegades. It's 13-8 in the favor of the Renegades. The Renegades looking for a smooth closeout at this point forward so that they can at least outright tie against Luminosity, should they tie at the end of the season. But obviously, if we can see Luminosity come back and take this second map, making it a 2-0 for the night, that would be great for them. But looks like we are live and getting back into it. The scoreboard probably will correct itself in the next round. For all intents and purposes, it is currently 13-8 in the favor of the Renegades. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you get creative with that 0? There you go. Yeah, I like it.
30-8.
You just gave the 0 a beard. It kind of looks like, but.
Oh, why do you remove it? That was so good. Oh, because he had the mini map.
Yeah, because it has the mini map up.
Well, whatever.
We unfortunately can't keep the drawings up.
We need a 2-monitor setup for the stream.
Yeah.
The future.
Just show the observers minimap PC on
I want
the
a
stream.
Prius cam, face cam too.
No? Okay. Well, we got one earlier. Charles has posted a video on Twitter, so.
Oh, true.
He was in focused mode. But anyway, as the execute begins, Cello starts it off with the entry onto Nifty there. That white box takes him out, and that's free mid control for LG maintain. Showtime finds a second, but they don't expect the second player to be here by Checker. So Nav is going to be able to chain together 2. The Molly into the vent should delay this hit. Nav doing wonderful work here right now. Pushes Yell outside. He's been brought down to 7 HP. PKL in the B holes is finally going to be able to take down Nav. Yell's going to be careful here. He is kind of trapped. Pops in the smoke. Hopefully can give him room to fall back into the vents, or at least he's going to fake it, make it look like he's doing that. But just when he actually commits to falling back to 2 that, drops down, hits the shot. Azure will move in for the trade. So we end up in a 1v1 with the bomb being planted on the B site. Look at how creative PKL is getting, however. He moved out to tree room.
Yeah. Does Azure have the idea that maybe he got through? I wonder.
Well, he's going to realize it in a second here if he doesn't watch
no,
out.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, yes, he does. It's not heard anything quite yet. Interesting flash. What's the reaction going to be? Oh, he
no.
stays.
PKL will be able to shut that down, so that secures a 9th round for Luminosity. And there we go, the scoreboard's fixed now.
Dude, how the hell, excuse me, how did Yell get that kill? How did Yell get that kill? I mean, he had no right to. He fell off the box. His aim was completely displaced. Oh my god, that's brutal. It's showing everybody has like 0 kills. I think it's until they get a kill it'll start to show up. But yeah, his aim was completely displaced. He was in a tough spot. He had no HP. Naf did all that work outside the vent. I mean, that was really it. And again, both teams I think fighting for the ability to reset the other team's economy right at that point. So.
Now that Renegades have been reset here, this is going to be bad news for them, as this does allow Luminosity to bring the scoreline to a very, very close bout. It really could go either team's way here. Luminosity very well could swing back and take control of this map if Renegades don't now close out or attempt to do so for their next gun round forward.
Very interesting late smoke. I mean, these deep smokes are so good because they force the teams to not respect or to feel like they can't leave it unnoticed. They have to decide, okay, do we want to go B off of this, or do we want to wait it out, call them out, and then hit A? And they've actually done the right thing here. They're not going to fall for this trap. Renegades are going to go camp out on the other site as they hear the bomb go down. Yeah,
unfortunately, camping out on the site is not going to lead to all that much success for them. Ultimately, they will just have to more likely push out and look for some exit kills again. Luminosity have flooded into A, and they'll find their opportunity to plan in just a moment here. And there you go. That goes onto the ground. The realization will be there for the Renegades. So how do they deal with this? And it looks like they are going to flood out from the B site. And at least try to position a truck for some exits.
Yeah, sticking way close together. But Luminosity already have an escape route. They know that they can exit A main. People are slowly going to leak out. And for a bit of utility, PKL happy to take up a couple of fights until he's low. And yeah, with everybody dying. There's actually not a lot of reason why Renegade should fight in that situation at truck, considering how far away everybody is. They just have half armor and stuff like that. Like, for example, here we have a rebuy of half armor that's 650 that they lost from that round.
Not only that, but they just give away like extra bonus money to Luminosity. It's not huge, but it still gives like, you know, a couple $100 to each player that gets a kill there.
Yeah. Good sidearm as well, but not such a bad position to be in at the moment. It doesn't seem like economy is and has been really the issue for Renegades. Getting caught off guard in this situation as well as Nekaz busts out mid. They know that 2 have pushed into A main, which makes it a little bit trickier to hold. PKL in a position to catch anybody falling back if they do put pressure on the other side of it. That's not going to be the case right now. Instead, with this control smoke, you still can play up close, give his teammates a little bit more peace of mind, but he's in a tricky position because he knows that he always has to be concerned that they're going to try to retake A main.
They did move Azza outside of A main, however, so at the moment it's just Ustillo, but even Ustillo is falling back now. Luminosity have kind of kept the options open, so no commitment towards either site yet, but I do believe they're probably going to go back into A main in a moment as the smoke fades away pretty soon here.
This is the best way to support, though. I think they wanted to set a trap for him with I think it's PKL in the invent. Oh no, they both leave A main. That's something they can do as well. So I thought they were going to use Azur to watch Squeaky and try to get that kill if he tries to catch him falling back.
But now we do see Luminosity pushing forward, getting ready to go out. They actually don't leave themselves a massive amount of time, but thankfully there's only 1 or 2 players in this site, so when they take care of them, it's going to be a pretty easy plant, but Azur's making it difficult. He finds 2 kills while blind. The second player, though, Ustillo falls without a fight. However, look at this from Nifty. He's going to waltz right up, gets the free op shot, can't kill the planter immediately. And what's even worse, he doesn't realize yet, but Showtime snuck up on him from forklift position. Naf will trade that back out, and now he's alone, but in a 1v1 can still win. Tries to correct it on the repeak, but no, will run out of time. Nekaz will take him down. Has to find Nekaz, tries to swing onto him, misses that shot. And that's an 11th round for Luminosity, as they're just 2 away from tying this back up now.
Dude, that is terrifying. Another 1v1 that Renegades could have won. If they won either of these clutch rounds, I mean, that's technically a 1v2, but Naf having full HP here, you'd think, okay, he has a chance. Now, he did use his bullets, and this is very scary. I mean, he really has to hit that first headshot. Naf, high likelihood that he just hits that flick. And you see that he tries to peek right there because he's in the middle of nowhere. So he can't fall back to cover. He can't cross the A main. It's a great opportunity. The only issue is that you don't have much angle to work with.
Cello already out, but Naf just destroys him as he peeks a little bit too aggressively there, and Naf is ready to take the battle. Knocks him out with a deagle, so good start for the Renegades. They've got a lot of work to do if they want to absolutely upset. They only have 2 of those deagles. It's not the entire team equipped with them. So it is going to have to be some heroics from just a few individuals here if they want to upset. Otherwise, it should be expected that Luminosity would still take this round, and we can see there that Nekaz has already found the first trade kill. And Showtime, we'll get another here into B halls. So it's just a walk on to the B site here now. And while Nifty would have been able to hear it a few moments ago, he is now dead. So it won't be the case anymore. And it's just a 1 deagle and a USP left over in a 4v2. With no positioning, no utility, no real way to bargain back into this. It's going to be exit frags that Renegades will have to look for again here, as they must concede the round.
This is kind of crazy, man. This game could have been over. It still seems like, because Renegades are coming so close, that there's still the opportunity for them to close it out. So Luminosity are on their hind legs, and I think that they've got to keep reinventing themselves, but they know that what they're doing is at least getting them by. And eventually, it does eat away at your confidence to be losing this many rounds in a row, regardless of how it happens. So that'll be going for them as well. But Luminosity stabilized their economy a bit with this round, finally keeping 4 alive. Renegades have another opportunity to have a full buyout. Nifty, so you're going to go for half armor or nades? Actually, gets nades. Yeah, always better. Always better.
So we'll choose to utilize that. It's been playing pretty close to the chest on these op shots anyway, so it's going to be okay with just using it without armor right now. Playing probably into the A site. Yep, we'll still stick in that position. Still in the meanwhile, pushing forward, and he does end up getting tagged a little bit on the cross due to shots from Nekaz. Whether he realized if those shots are hit yet or not. Oh, wow.
It didn't seem like he saw him.
Spam through the box, too. It's not to find too much success. But a big mistake from JKS to repeak that, and that just hands the first kill over to Yell. Not what the Renegades need right now. Not at all.
Do you think he saw him? I mean,
I don't think he did, actually, because
you would assume that he wouldn't peek, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too, he didn't even like try to fake him out or anything on the repeak. He just directly repeaked him.
Well, there's no way to do that. Oh wow, that's one way to go.
So the Molly flash combo wrecks Ustillo. He doesn't even realize that he's in a Molly until it's way too late.
That's unrealistic. I feel like if I was flashbanging, I'd still know I was on fire.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn from Counter-Strike.
Nifty will pick up finally one trade kill here. The problem is, though, is he's got a player waiting for him at Squeaky, but it's actually Nekis that just destroys him with the AK shot. And Showtime has seen Naf coming up towards the truck position. I think he's actually just going to wait for him right here since his team is changing up their hit to a B site play.
This is really cool. They're tethering off of Showtime's position and all his information. So you heard a bit of a rotate. They cycle it back to B. And kind of an unfortunate round for Nifty. It looked like he was about to go super explosive, and then Nekis just does the exact same thing. And puts one between the eyes. Like, it's not much you can do about that. Naf really playing his heart out here.
28 and 16. And obviously, guys, those two players at the bottom have their stats.
Are going to get cut.
Those stats are not right. So just ignore those. Showtime moving out, wants to get at least one of these players dropped, and he'll succeed in that. Just assumes the second one's in here. He's right about that. The problem is he's not in this hallway. Oh, he does dodge the shot. Showtime going to have to go past it again, repeat him one more time, and there you go. He single-handedly drops both of the saved players, meaning that they are not going to have the money to rebuy going into this next round here now, and that will almost certainly guarantee that Luminosity takes the lead because of that.
All right, and Renegade's got to dig deep, man. This is, you know, Luminosity have a map. This is Renegade's map to lose, and let's see, they buy down to 2K. That's the strat. Wait for next round. Try to do as much damage as they can. They have almost, and actually only one in eco in this half so far. There's an opening CZ kill too, off of being extremely aggressive.
They'll use this extra smoke to be able to move forward and pick up the AK, so now they've got that under their belt too, and, well, maybe it's not a guaranteed Luminosity lead here anymore. Oh, wow, that was smooth. Cello, just like clockwork, knocks out JKS with a single tap. Naf will be there to trade, but it's after Cello gets a second kill, so I'm sure they don't mind that too much, and it is ultimately brought down to Azure, who retrieved the AK from their first frag against Showtime. Now has to clutch out a 1v3. He does have a Molotov to try and utilize, but at the moment he's clearing out the site just on his own. Not being given a whole lot in terms of spottage there. Sees one player, but the problem is it did not expect for there to be a guy at Squeaky, so that throws him off, and it'll be PKL to shut him down. And indeed now to secure the lead for Luminosity at 14-13.
Damn, dude. They've actually taken a lead in this half. That's unreal. 14-13. Just need to... so close to just like actually closing this out. I like the double op in response. I honestly, it just feels like they've gotten so close in the later rounds that they don't even have to change too much up. They just need to tighten up a little bit here. Wow, that's super aggressive pick for 50 HP. He gets a little bit of information and opportunity to get a kill. Sometimes you want to take those risks on T side.
No actual success being found just yet from LG here, so they're still stuck in their default lineup. Waiting for the opportunity to push back through and get an execute going. But still a lot of smokes alive here from the CTs, so you'll see one going into the mid garage, and that will continue to delay things here at Luminosity. Have been perfectly okay with running down the clock a little bit before committing to any of these executes, and we've seen that once again. But with a minute left, they are going to start to move forward and take a bit of map control. That'll be found at mid, with most of their players actually moving in for this. But Ustillo with a quick swing out towards White Box finds Showtime. Knows for certain that there is control on the left side here, and he sees Cello creeping back up. So we'll hold away from that. And this will actually scare Cello off a little bit too. He's going to fall back to the cubby.
Another 5v4, this time with rifles. We haven't seen this too often. It's been some good mid-round adjustments, though, from Luminosity. What are they going to do here? Bombs walking Squeaky. They're up highway. They don't have smokes now for Z, so they've got to watch their back as they do the split. And, oh.
As they're ready for it, but he actually realizes he's still able to help him out there. This is still much, much cleaner than anything else we've seen from the Renegades in the entire course of this half so far. Yell's going to do his best to find some impact here and do some damage at least, but ultimately, he is alone, stuck in A main, and what is now a 1v4. Oh, spots the player in the corner there, too, at NBK, but...
don't kill him yet. Oh,
nope.
Just gimp him, dude. There's not enough time left.
I think they're more focused on just the objective play at this point.
Focused on everything. That is part of the objective. They really wanted to stun his economy there. That would have been massive moving into these last two rounds.
Mm-hmm. So that will allow for another rebuy. The op is still in check here, but it's tied us back up again. Renegades coming alive on what could have been their last gun round if they weren't careful. But they were, and indeed secured control over the A bomb site, stopped the hit from Luminosity from being a success. Luminosity gonna pick it up a little bit faster this time, though. There's a good flash over the top, actually blinds both the defenders in the site. A response, however, from the CTs will blind out Yell and prevent him from actually fully committing to the hit. But also some smokes, specifically one into NBK. Is it going to force Nifty back? And when he re-peeks from the other side of Quad, Yell will be completely blinded, but still able to hit the shot on a Nifty. Very well done.
Oh. Oh, wow. They don't actually fall apart, though, from the 5v4. They even up.
Naf gets his revenge over in the B halls, taking down Showtime. Now we see Yell start to go up and over the top. A boost. Yustillo will be the one to challenge this, and the only one here in mid currently to challenge anything at all, hiding from White Box. Still no sign of actual commitment coming in from Luminosity. That's Flashbang is going to change it, however. They'll start pushing forward. Nekaz sees the spot that Yustillo is playing from, and Yustillo will start to retreat now that he's been found out. Potentially could get help from Naf, and in fact, I think Naf is even going to move back in, but there's a bit of an over-focus on mid right now that they're not really figuring out just yet. Op shots go back in, and Yustillo tries to pressure, but this has just gotten so bad for the Renegades now. Not only does that give Nekaz that kill, he knows for certain Naf is in Z, and with the missed op shot, he goes down. And we see the Luminosity hit on A. It's a relative success after that. Yell and PKL get the final 2 kills, and that puts Luminosity up to map point first.
I feel like they could have dealt with that a little bit better. I don't know. That seemed kind of weird at mid. Obviously, that smoke helped a lot, so it was really good that he did smoke out Z. That separated him from the op and any help that he could get. But you still had the opportunity to fall back. Also, Naf had to jump through the smoke with the op to try to even up and then miss a shot. It was a little bit YOLO. I mean, they were in a tricky situation. They didn't want to give up mid that easily, but maybe he would have been better off at truck, making sure a highway guy can't come up. I don't know. But now Renegades don't have much money, and yeah, now it's 5v4 on 30th round of the game. Luminosity have successfully brought this back and guaranteed themselves at least a point at OT.
Nifty, though, keeps himself alive with this trade, and Nekaz is getting greedy, trying to pursue that, or more so trying to get the trade. Not necessarily greedy, but unfortunately pays the price for it when he moves back in. Nifty will take him down as well. Now Nifty, with these 2 kills, has given his team back the man advantage. He knows that he's going to be the hot target right now, though, so he decides to fall back out into the mid cubby. Will place himself here. And Luminosity will just have to regroup and look for an opportunity to execute somewhere else, as mid is not going to happen right now.
Oh.
Nifty's got this presence still here, but I think
Yell
Yell knows it. Yeah, he's going to walk up. Ooh, and even that's a close battle, too. Yell only has 20 HP at the end of it, but he does finally take down Nifty.
There's 30 seconds left. They all have full nade sets, which is kind of surprising, but also very beneficial for Luminosity. They could do a lot with this. Good nades in response, though. They caused the rotate, though, right out of A.
Oh, my goodness. It works so well.
Wow, they bid on that so hard. They didn't see a bomb, and they only saw 1 set of nades. JKS called for the rotate. 20 seconds up.
They don't even have to use most of their nades, too, to even, they just walk right into the site and use 1 smoke.
They still have so many nades left.
They have 2 mollies, 4 flashbangs between the 2 of them. Oh, the CTs will push back in, but this is not looking good, especially since most of them don't even have rifles. Cello and PKL both pick up a kill. Last player alive has been spotted, and there you go. They both lock it down, and it's going to be Luminosity that come back in stunning fashion. It was 12-3 at halftime, and they brought it all the way back from only 3 rounds to take this map and take a 2-0 for the evening, netting them 6 points, and now tying them for the current 6th place team in North America.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Very much so.
But there couldn't be any more salt in the bodies of Renegades right now, because that was a tough loss.
Absolutely, especially after starting off with such a big lead. What a disappointment it is that they end up coming out at the bottom, especially that it doesn't even go to OTs. They're not going to get a single point for the night, and especially considering the results versus Rogue the other day. They're definitely going to be hurting after coming back from a first place victory. Still haven't recovered from the jet lag, it seems. So we'll take it over to the analyst desk and give it to them to close out the night.
Jet lag.
Isn't it funny when somebody was laughing at us for picking Luminosity? Ha ha ha.
Who was laughing?
Oh, somebody walked by and they were laughing at us for having picked Luminosity when they were down 3-12.
I don't know who it was.
Fairly.
There's a reason why we're here. It's because we know things.
Okay.
I try to know things.
Okay. Tell me what you know about round number 4. Let's go ahead and load it up real quick. We got round 4 as our first free play. It's going to be mid-nades and early B aggression to do a rigs.
So a lot of teams, after they win the first 2 rounds on T side, they're going to do something fast B. It's kind of like on Mirage. A lot of people will exec B after winning the first 3 rounds. What's cool about this round is that Renegades threw a bunch of nades mid. Notice on the mini-map how nobody's rotating through vent early, right? That's because they're keeping them in mid with some kind of presence. What they do here is they throw nades B as well to milk out whatever small amount of nades the CTs do have, because they are aware that they bought second round, so they know that their nade set is low or they have bad weaponry. And then they just re-exec, 15 to 20 seconds later, knowing that they're probably not going to be met with a Molotov, and this easy peasy round for them right here. So just good idea by Renegades. They're one of these teams who, when they get going on the T side early, it's really hard to stop them, which is why they've 16-0'd teams like SK on Dust 2 a few seasons ago. I think they 16-0'd somebody on Cash starting on the T side last season. So it's just, they have these type of tactics where when they know you're down and they know your money's not great, they're just going to keep on pummeling you.
Aggression.
Violence, speed, momentum, all that.
And
also
more.
aggression, right?
And more.
But anyway, look, different game, different everything. I mean, you would think Renegades are able to come in here with a little more steam behind them, but if you start throwing out words like jet lag, it makes it a little different. Am I right?
I don't know. It depends on the person, really. I mean, are you here to play, you're here to win, or are you here to make excuses? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had to travel as far as they have, so I don't firsthand know, so I can't completely discount it. But it's just one of those things where you just don't like to hear it, right? Like, just take the loss and don't talk about it. I don't think they did say anything. I just don't want to pin that on them as their excuse.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that because ultimately it isn't. And, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let's go ahead and load in round number 6. It's going to be our next replay here of 4.
So I really like this by Team Renegades, and you see he's going to be super aggressive towards this highway by himself. And can we pause it just right here for a second, if we can? Okay, so we're at this point. You're alone. You're in this weird spot where the CT's probably not going to expect you at the highway at this point. You see Pickle, who just pulled out his gun and not expecting a T there. So you still, what did he do wrong that round? He turned around and looked towards the Z push instead of focusing on the A hit or the A kill. And if you're worried about the Z, have a guy boosted up or something. If not, just have in mind that you need to take calculated risks in this game, and it's more likely for a person to peek highway and toxic from A than a guy to push through smoke in middle when there's Molotovs and smoke and nade. It's almost suicidal for the guy to push out in the mid smoke. So most likely you don't have to worry about that. Focus on anything. And I think if you still would have focused on that A hit instead of turning around at that split second, the round could have went more in favor of Renegades. So that's my 2 cents on that.
I 100% agree. I think it was a cool play. It just didn't pan out.
Yeah. Just one little mistake just tears it all down.
He said, that's my opinion. That's my 2 cents on that. And with that, we will take that to the bank, cash it in, and head over to round 20, our next round for us to look at. And it's a punishment here of Renegade's aggression to B main.
Yeah, so it's funny. Before the match, I was saying that I think the key to the victory for Renegades was to get aggressive on the CT side. However, that doesn't mean just blanket aggression at any time, at any round across the map, right? So Nifty's pushed up A main. It's 1:20 on the clock. You see 2 CTs kind of like, vacillating around B main area. They're pushing pretty early on in the round. Keep in mind, this is the first gun round of the second half, which is when the Ts would be most likely to be in a default, which is when they're most likely to be most vigilant for any kind of push, especially this early on in the round. So it's like, maybe you don't want to push that early in the round. Maybe not even push this at this round and a half, right? Because this is, their concentration's super high. They're ready. They're waiting to see what your pattern is on the CT side. You should be seeing what their pattern is on their T side before you decide to make a push like that. You're basically just immediately put yourself in a 5v3, and it's like, you could have locked out the map right there if you just played it standard. See if they can prove to you that they can take the bomb site when you're playing a standard setup.
Well, the story is aggression. The story is pushing. We're going to take a look at round 21. And it's going to be our last replay of the night. It's going to be a little bit of flash pushing in heaven.
So this is the next round with team right here where, they pushed B last round, so maybe they didn't expect him to push again, and that's what happened. And they get a couple kills, which is pistols, and so Renegades are kind of still in. You see this Azir with a nice 2 kills at the moment, and then you just see them playing together, 2-on-1. Don't be too two pushy, two peakies you see right there. And again, it's as you said a little earlier that don't just push. But I guess it's okay that round because they were saving. They just hit it last round. So at the high at the high echelon of playing, you do something, you expect the team to react, all right? Next round, they might adjust a little bit, you adjust. It goes back and forth. So if you do something ridiculous, like push all B again 2 rounds in a row, you can catch teams off guard as it did with Luminosity.
They're probably going to be in spawn they won't push B again, or let's send 1B heavy mid.
Yeah,
it's unlikely. So it's funny, but I think the key to that round is that flashbang through heaven.
Yeah,
I say it time and time again. If you're ever on the CT side and you have anybody with flashbangs and it's late round, like a 3VX, 2VX, put your CT near Z so he can bang one of those flashes through heaven at B, or you could support your A player with a flashbang. Simple, easy way to think about it.
Well, plenty of examples of this sort of action-reaction stuff that happens at the higher echelon of play. Plenty of examples of that over at youtube.com/ESLCS, which you can open another browser tab right now. Actually, you're probably already on this page, technically.
My phone in my pocket is on the page because I want to review some stuff.
Just ready to get right back into it, right? Yeah, and that's why you're here.
In and out.
In and out. And ultimately, that's why you're here, like I'm saying, because you're in and out, and you're there with it at all times. Let's go ahead and head into today's matches and try to lock this one in as we do progress through the post-show.
Man, that one hurts for Renegades.
Especially being up 12-3 1/2 and just blowing it on the CT side.
Yeah.
Youch. Don't give me that sauce.
Well, you don't want any sauce?
Not for Renegades.
The scores are symmetrical.
Yeah.
16-14, 16-8, 16-8,
Oh my!
16-14.
I can't not see that now. That's amazing. Let's go ahead and switch it forward to the NA standings. Now, guys, this is where things are heating up. We're heading into the playoffs. We are on one of the remaining days of the season now.
So this scoreboard doesn't have it updated. So Luminosity will get +6, right? So they're going to go to 41 and then up to wow, they jumped a lot. They got +6 over the course of that?
Hey, it's
so they're going to be in 4th place.
How often do you see a 2-0 in ESL Pro League?
Not very often.
It's always 1-1, it feels like.
Tell you what, we're just gonna turn the page to EU real quick. Guys, give me some thoughts on what you see on the European side of things.
NIP needs to make that LAN finals, baby. That team needs something going on for them. I'm hoping for NIP. What else do we see here?
Well, other than Navi being last place, I feel like, and Mouse Sports really,
they're going up. Yeah, I remember Mouse Sports weren't doing too hot, and I think they were first going into LAN last season.
Yeah, they're definitely up there, and I think Fnatic being #1 is kind of a surprise because they've been kind of shaky last 6 months, and so roster changes and whatnot, but it's working for them. Russia.
Well, as with last season, we're going to be going into the PaySafe Card fan vote, which you can head over to proleague.com and cast your vote. Also, PaySafe putting on a pretty sweet giveaway right there. You can, I believe it's go to Odin's with Tweeday to the LAN finals. Seemingly pretty sick package, if you ask me.
Are we?
Am I qualified?
Yeah.
Can I go? Can I go?
Well,
I'm going to leave this stage early if I can go sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm not your parental figure. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to say you're out of the running. That's for someone else to decide. I would let you guys.
I want to go.
Thank you.
That's just the way it works. No problem, guys. Either way, that does it for the matches today. Let's go ahead and thank Intel for their involvement here. Once again, the world's fastest processors, guaranteed fastest that I can think of. I mean, what do you guys think?
I have one.
I have Intel.
Actually, I don't have one. I think I have like 5. It's kind of sad.
I only have one.
It's kind of sad I have that many computers.
I live the struggle life. But you know what? It's good enough that it's what I use the game.
So you've got the best processor in-game, and then the other processing power is upstairs, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and look at tomorrow's schedule as we close things out here slowly but surely. Splice versus Immortals, Complexity versus Counter Logic Gaming. Those will be the 2 matchups that we see tomorrow. Again, those are 4 best of 1s, technically speaking. Train Cobble, Train Mirage. Quite a bit of Train being played.
Yeah, so how does it work for relegation, right? Because obviously the bottom team gets auto-relegated, but I think the second to bottom has to play their way out of relegation at the Global Challenge.
Could be bottom 2.
So I think that Complexity and Splice are back-to-back down there above Rogue, right? So I think it goes Splice, Complexity in the third and fourth from bottom. So I think that obviously tomorrow's matches are very meaningful for them, not just from like a pride of winning standpoint and wanting to compete, right? Everyone always wants to win, right? But what extra like motivation can they have? So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's two totally opposite ends of the spectrum. But that does it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at the same great time, same great place with the same great folks here at the Intel Esports Arena. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you join us again.